What are the tools that you use for conducting econometrics and so this kind of data analysis? Is it specific programs you're using? Are you coding? Are you using programming languages? What are the tools that you're really using and implementing in order to conduct this kind of analysis and research?
So for myself, I mainly use three software languages. The first one is R, the second one is MATLAB, the third one is Python. And they
Yes.
have their own advantages and disadvantages. I can keep talking this
I
for
was going
several
to.
hours.
So, do you have a favorite? Like,
So my favorite is R. First of all, it is open source, not
mm,
like a MATLAB that is a commercial software. You can
yeah,
use it um, at no cost. Second, most important thing is that there is a rich developer community for R. When I say developers, they include top professors in top universities across the
yeah,
whole world, including like MIT, UCSD, um, Cambridge, Oxford, etc. So if they develop a new econometrics model, they can release their code as a package on the R community website. It's called CRAN, and people simply Google it, and you can find the CRAN. And there are thousands of free packages, so you get access to the cutting edge of all type of econometrics and statistical techniques. So that for other softwares like Stata eViews, there is typical delay. It only have the implementation of relative mature method, not the most advanced, most cutting edge method. For R, because it's free and everybody can have their own packages, so you get access to the most advanced method, and that is my personal interest, and I can get access to those most cutting edge techniques. Meanwhile, it is open source, so you can download the source code of all those models. And sometimes you want to do your own customizations. You open the open source, you can change few lines and try to experiment and see whether this can be accommodated to your own need. That's R. That's why I like it. Meanwhile, I would like to make a comment on Python. It is also open source, and it also have a very large community, especially from computer science. Nowadays, all type of machine learning and big data techniques are first developed in Python. Okay, so if you ask me to give suggestions, so if your main research needs statistical tools and the data science tools, you can use R, because most statisticians develop their code in R. If your research needs or your business needs machine learning based method, um, you can use Python, because nowadays those methods are first developed in Python. But keep in your mind, because new things comes new risks. So you are not exactly sure how stable and how robust are those codes. Okay, that could be bugs. It's not like a commercial software like MATLAB, Stata eViews. They have their own quality checks. So if you are very conservative, you stick to the mature method, and MATLAB, Stata, eViews, SPSS, they are all very stable softwares.
yes. If you had to choose if someone came up to you and they were a young individual, whether they were a researcher or just a programmer more generally, and they came to you like, right, I'm only allowed to pick one programming language that I have to use for the rest of my life. I really want to master as a skill, because the other side of this as well, they all have all their own nuances, right? And so they're all languages that you have to learn. What programming language would you recommend that individual to learn and become an expert in, like, considering how you see stuff moving on in sort of to the future?
I don't want to answer this question directly. I would like to answer this question by providing my own experiences.
Okay,
So
sure.
when I was an undergraduate, my first programming language was C.
Yeah.
And then I learned second programming language that was C++.
Mm-hmm.
It's similar, but with a little bit tuning in. We focus on objective programming. When I did my master, I start to learn MATLAB because for those C and C++, they are close to the machine level. Okay, and for MATLAB, it focuses on vector and matrix computations, and that's much easier for um, time series analysis. When I start my PhD, I start to learn R and Python. And nowadays, as I mentioned, I use MATLAB, R, Python, and sometimes I even learn new programming languages. For example, last year, I learned Gauss. That is because a certain package is only implemented in Gauss, and I learned that from scratch. So coming back to your question, if a young student come to me and ask me, I have to choose one programming language and now, and I will stick to my whole life, I would telling my story without providing a specific choice.
I see. No, that's fair enough.